Good evening, everyone. It's good to be with you again. I almost forgot to turn on the mic again. Man. I'm getting used to this, but I am loving it. Loving being here with you on this evening. Yesterday, I did the same presentation, only to discover when I got through, I did not turn on the mic. But today I told myself I am going to do that. And then when I was getting started, I forgot to turn it on. Luckily, I caught myself within 5 seconds of being on to turn on the mic. And so you can hear me. I'm excited. I am pumped up and I can't wait to get going to share some of these things with you. And today I'm going to be sharing a slide presentation with you, and we're going to be talking about mind power. You are what you think. All right. Did you get that, guys? Mind power. You are what you think. You know that the mind is a powerful machine, and your body will often it will react to the feelings or to whatever or input you put into your mind. And we're going to be talking a little bit about that today. So, what about this mind power? Your mind being what you think. Let's go. All right. Let's do this. All right. So, I want to begin by saying this to you. The health information received on this page is for general education and not intended for medical advice. So please before you attempt any change, anything of that nature, please consult with your personal doctor or your personal healthcare provider. They will consult you in any changes that you are looking to make. So let me go ahead and read this for you. The relation which exists between the mind and the body is very intimate. When one is affected, the other sympathizes. Wow. Did you guys get that? When one is affected, the other sympathizes. And that's very important to understand. The condition of the mind affects the health and the physical system. So if the mind is free and happy from a consciousness of right doing and a sense of satisfaction and causing happiness to others, it creates a cheerfulness that will react upon the whole system, causing a freer circulation of the blood and a toning up of the entire body. The blessing of God is a healing power, and those who are abundant in benefiting others will realize that wondrous blessing both heart and life in both heart and life. All right, so that's very important. But mainly that the relationship that exists between the mind and the body, very intimate. And so there is a connection there, all right? A connection between your mind and a connection between the body as well, right? So that's very important that we get that and that we do understand that. So our thoughts and feelings, your thought and feelings are the nutrition of the mind. So just as we need a certain balance of nutrients, proteins and other nutrients for the body, to reach maximum health and energy levels, we are in need specific balance. We also need specific a balance of mental nutrients for a happy, tranquil. There you go, the word, and of creative mind and creative mind. And so that's very important, friends. That we all know that we need nutrients, right? To keep this body functioning. Well, in the same way, the mind needs its own source of nutrients. And we're not just talking about the kind of foods, but the right kind of things that we often allow to enter into our brain. All right. What you put in there will often come out in the person of our body because the two are connected. Aristotle once said this: a healthy mind and a healthy body were somehow intertwined, but the idea has traveled the rocky road ever since. Wow. Now, I believe I believe that. One of my favorite books says this in the book of Proverbs, the wisest man alive, Solomon, in Proverbs 23 and verse 7, he says, "For as he thinks, or as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." Now you know that you don't think with your heart, but in the Bible, the heart and the mind are intricately intertwined. In other words, instead of as he thinketh in his heart, it should read, as he thinketh in his mind, so is he. Now, this is very serious. Could it be that many of where we are, well, let me say this. Could it be that where we are in life right now is an indication of what has been going on in our brains, in our mind? Now, I know sometimes we like to blame circumstances. Oh, I didn't get this opportunity and that opportunity. But could it be that where we are in life right now is a result of what's going on in between our ears? Now, there is a correlation, of a connection, if you will, between the mind and how the mind actually affects our immune system. Now, scientists, they can now measure the body's immune response to specific stress. Wow. Isn't that amazing? So if that's important, so we need to understand, what is the immune system? What's the immune system? Well, the human body is protected by millions of fighting units circulating the bloodstream. And these consist of different types of soldiers, each group having its own specific function. Central control can order out new units when disease invades the body. And during times of peace, the numbers are reduced and the fighters become patrol. This is a simplified explanation of the immune system. Your immune system is your defensive mechanism. All right, that is what helps to fight off and ward off illness and disease, and that's why even during this pandemic, oftentimes over and over, we were told that one of the things that we can do is to strengthen our immune system. All right, so that's very important. A healthy diet, physical fitness, and positive emotional states can stimulate and strengthen the body's immune system. By the way, just a plug. Did you know that around 70 to 80% of your gut is in your immune system, or is it the other way around? Your immune system is in your gut. All right. Did you know that? Wow. I think that that's very important. All right. So on the other hand, illness, drugs, and excessive stress, and all of that, they can weaken the immune system. AIDS occurs when the entire immune system has been deactivated or decimated, if you will. All right. In other words, there are no longer any line of defense. That's why someone who has that condition, if they get a cold, they often end up dying for that, because they have the immune system, which in a normal person would help to fight that, has been decimated. And so we have to be careful. So, what affects the immune system? All right. Did you know your emotions can affect the immune system? Scientists reports that in people in depressed and regular or negative emotional states may be especially vulnerable to diseases affecting the immune system, such as asthma, rheumatoid arthritis, and cancer. Friends, did you know that that scientists, are reporting that depression and negative emotion, all that can especially um, affect people's immune system and causing them to be sick. That's why it's so important, friends. It's so important that not only do you have a healthy immune system, but that you have a healthy mind. What we put in our minds, or what we allow to go there. I think every day we should wake up and you should look in the mirror and you should say, you know what? I am an amazing person. I am one. I mean, that you would talk yourself. in the Bible, there's a verse in there that says, encourage yourself. Isn't that amazing? We are told to encourage ourselves. And sometimes I think it's important that we do just that. Encourage yourself. Every morning, you should do that. Encourage yourself. Now, I saw a video. It was on Facebook. It was during the pandemic. A father, he would take his daughter and the son to school every day during that time. And while they were on their way, he would say, I want you to repeat after me. And they would say, I am beautiful. And you should have seen the little kids. I am beautiful. I am amazing. I am amazing. And you would see the smile on their faces, just by reiterating positive affirmation in your life. You can do wonders. You can do wonders to your body. Wow. Thoughts and feelings. Another thing that affects the mind are your feelings. Your thoughts and emotions directly influence the mind, which in turn powerfully affects the body. Whatever affects the mind also affects the body. Now, on record, do you know that there are reports of people who believe they are going to die in a certain day, and they actually did die? Even though no direct cause could be found. Wow. You tend to project out into the open air, if you will, that which you are thinking. I heard a story about this is kind of funny. I heard a story about a businessman or somebody who was working late one night, and they had to get a project done, but they needed to stay overnight in order to get the project done. Everyone else had gone home. They alone remained in the office. Apparently, their part was one of the most important parts. And they were getting tired and tired and tired and tired and tired and tired. And so finally, while he was there all by himself, he remembered that his secretary, I guess, had powdered coffee in the top drawer in the right hand side of her desk. And so he reached up in there and got it and went and got some hot water, and he boiled it and put some of that coffee in there, and lo and behold, you know what happened? He began to have a whole lot of strength, and he got a boost of energy, and he was able to complete the project that he wanted to complete, even though at the beginning he was tired. But now he had gotten a lot of strength. So the next day, his secretary comes in and he's explaining to the secretary all that has happened and how he took her coffee, and that helped him to be able to finish the project. And the secretary said to him, "Wow, that's amazing. I'm glad that my coffee was able to help you." And then she said, "But did you know that it was decaf? Did you know that it was decaf?" You know why it worked? It worked because he thought it would work. You see how powerful the brain is? And by the way, that's called the placebo effect. It's called the placebo effect. You give somebody a pill, tell them, hey, this pill will help. Oftentimes, there's really no magic in that pill, but because they thought they would get well, they got well. I was reading something yesterday that said and I don't know how true this is. I'm not a doctor, but I was reading it where it said that many people who are sick put themselves in that situation only because they thought they were sick. Nothing's really wrong with them, but their mind did that to them. Listen. I heard a story about a man who actually died in a refrigerated freight car. He got stuck in there overnight, and when they found him the next morning, he ended up. He was frozen to death. I mean, literally, he was stiff. He was frozen to death. But you want to know the tragedy that when they went to examine what was happening, the refrigerated car was not even plugged. He actually died in about 65-degree weather. But he died only because his mind told him, and he listened, that it was cold. So our minds will, often reward us based on what we really, really believe. And that's why a lot of times when people believe that they'll never amount to anything, guess what happens? They don't amount to anything. When people really believe that they can't do this, and that's why they believe it. So, friends, encourage yourself, all right? Tell yourself you can. Now, will positive emotions then strengthen the immune system? Studies suggest that a stable emotional life is as important to good health as more traditional influences such as improved diet, very important. Regular exercise, also important. And the avoidance of alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs. And we're talking about having a stable emotional life. So, friends, this does help. When we talk about having positive emotions, it does strengthen the immune system. And you need the immune system in order to be functional and to get well. So the mind and emotions have a powerful influence in our physical lives. But how do we harness that power to work for us? Well, friends, I'm going to share something with you, and we're almost done. And this is what I'm going to share. A lot of times, people don't realize how important asking questions really is. All right, how important asking questions really is. So I believe if you were to ask yourself these 6 questions, it would help you to harness that positive mental attitude that we need to have. All right, you ready? Number 1, ask yourself, what is one thing I could do that would have the greatest positive long-term effect on my life? That one thing that you could do right now that would have the greatest positive long-term effect on your life. Number 2, what is the one thing I could do that would improve my relationship with someone I care about? That one thing. You realize, friends, oftentimes that relationships cause stress or can cause stress in one's life. So, what is that one thing that you can do to improve? Notice I didn't say what one thing they can do, but what one thing can you do? Number 3, what is there in my life right now that's worth being happy about? Oh, friends, I'm sure there's a lot of things right now that you can say right now that's in you. That one thing, I'm sure you can mention one thing in your life right now that you can say, hey, I'm happy about this. Number 4, what can I do today to develop a more healthful lifestyle? Well, there's a lot of things you can do. Maybe it's increasing the amount of exercise that you do daily. Maybe it's in developing a better nutritional life as far as what you eat, what you put into your body. Maybe you never know. Maybe it's getting more air or sunshine, or maybe it's getting more rest at night. Who knows? But I'm sure that you have something for that. All right. Number 5, what am I grateful for today? Very important. What are you grateful for today? And the last thing is, who can I add value to today? That's very important. Who could you add value to today? Well, friends, this is coming from the Apostle Paul, and this is what he says. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Wow. Friends, isn't that amazing right there? So, what are the things that you're going to allow to put in your brain? Anything that is right, anything that is pure, that is lovely, that is admirable, anything that is excellent, anything that is praiseworthy. Those are the things, friends, that you want to be thinking about. Those things that will positively affect your mind. Because whatever affects your mind affects your body, and in turn weakens your immune system. Oh, friends, I am so glad to have brought this to you today. We're going to be coming with part 2 sometime later on this week. We will let you know ahead of time, but I'm coming to you today from the Healthy Start Lifestyle Improvement Program. Friends, take care of yourself. You will not regret it in the long run. Take care and have a nice day.